In our gospel this week, Jesus begins his public ministry up in the north of the Promised Land, the Holy Land, right, northern Israel, in the region of Galilee, where the tribes of Zebulun and Naphtali first founded the Promised Land in the north anyhow, right? So he begins this public ministry with a summary of all of his preaching. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, right? The kingdom of heaven, God reigning on earth, reigning in our hearts, reigning in our lives, being the one in control, that's at hand, because Jesus is here. And so what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to repent. It's this word metanoia. It means to have a change of mind, right? Meta also means like to go beyond. So like go beyond your own natural inclinations, the way you think, the way you generally operate, change your mind, right? You could also see it as a word that just means like turn around and walk away from. So what are we walking away from? We're walking away from sin and dysfunction, and we're walking toward God, right? Have a change of heart and a change of mind. What does that look like in our homes, right? Most of us aren't, we don't worship statues, we don't do these massive, horrible things. What do we need to repent of? We need to repent of those run-of-the-mill sins, those vices, those bad habits that just are ingrained in us. It's that knee-jerk reaction to yell at your sibling, or that knee-jerk reaction to use a bad tone of voice with your parents, or that knee-jerk reaction to be short-tempered with your spouse, right? Those sorts of things we're trying to repent of, we're trying to change it, we're trying to overcome the way our mind normally works by the grace of God and with our cooperating with that grace, right? And so, question for us this week would be, what do we need to metanoia from? What do we need to ask for God's grace to get over, to get through, to surrender to Him? And it might take time. Right, what does metanoia look like in practice is the second half of this gospel. Right, Jesus is walking along the sea and he calls these two brothers, James and John, who are fishermen with their father, and they leave everything and they walk away and follow Jesus. Now, fishing with your dad in the family business isn't a bad thing. That's not a sin that they're turning away from. But it is an example of what does it look like to walk away from something. Right, they literally drop their nets and walk away and follow Jesus. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could drop our anger and follow Jesus, drop our judgment, drop our constantly butting heads with our sibling, drop our whatever it is, and follow Jesus? That's what we're praying for this week, for that metanoia, that change of heart. We want to repent because the kingdom of heaven is here.